C-Bus.
Hey, it's Gary. I'm out here to diagnose a problem with brown spots in the yard. So it's a common complaint from customers that there's brown spots in yards, and it can be because of a lot of different reasons. So today we're going to take a look at one of the reasons, and I've just arrived over here. I'm going to take a quick peek. Brown spots can be caused from a lot of things. Everything from environmental conditions, heat, drought, can be caused from bugs, fungus, all sorts of things. So we're going to take a quick look and see if we can diagnose this. Let's take a quick peek, and then once we find out what's wrong with it, then we can find out how we can go about, alleviating or rectifying the problem, the best course of action. Let's take a look. So now I'm coming up to the lawn, and I don't have to go very far to find the patches that they're talking about. You can see brown spots in the yard up through here, and they continue through here. There's some weed growth also, but we're really looking here to see what the problem with these brown spots in the yard are. So a couple things I look at here right away is the size and the shape of these things and what type of grass it is. This is primarily a bluegrass and a rye mix in the lawn. So next thing we're going to do is take a look at the shape of it. And they don't seem like they're in, exact circles. It's very patchy. What else I noticed is that the color of the spots, sometimes you'll see they're more tan or brown. Other times you can find that the spots are red in color or pink. And those are clues that you can look for to try to find out what's going on. Next thing we look at is generally just take a really close look at the grass. Get down there and see if there's bugs or see if there's issues with it. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to come down here. We're going to look in here, and we're going to examine the thatch layer a little bit. See if we see any bugs. But I don't think we're going to find insects here, and I can tell you why in a minute. I already pretty much know what the issue is. Just trying to go through a little course here to show you how I diagnose it. I'll look in the thatch layer really close, because if you're looking for something like cinch bugs or other insects that live in the lawn other than grubs, this does not look like grubs because it would be patches of consistent dead grass. Anyway, in the grub situation or root feeders, you'd have to dig a little bit to find the grubs that are under the surface. Also, timing of the year is crucial. Right now, we're in midsummer, and it's been kind of pretty humid out, and it's been relatively warm. So, let me show you what I found, and I'll tell you the two clues that let me identify this almost without a doubt of what it is. As we look close here in the grass, hopefully you can see this on camera, but you can see little, what almost looks like cobwebs in the grass right there. These cobwebs, though, are not from bugs, and they're not from spiders. Those cobwebs are actually the fungus, and you can see it growing on the leaf stems over here and through there. When the grass is damp or moist, especially in the morning, you can see this really easily. And then let's see what else we can find here that's another telltale factor that this is a fungus. So I'm going to select some grass here where it's not completely dead, but it's starting to discolor and die. So I'm just going to pull some out right here. And then as we look at this, you can see on this grass, hopefully you can see, get a good spot. Set it down. You can see on this grass that on the leaf blade there's actually bands of sort of a straw color that go across, all the way across. And on the band of the grass blade, you'll see a dark stripe on the top and bottom. And that is 100% indicative of dollar spot fungus. So that's what I'm going to diagnose this at, is dollar spot in this lawn. And we'll take a quick look at it, and you can see it's really patchy. They're small, somewhat circular patches. And if it gets bad, then all these patches sort of grow together, make it look like large dead areas. But it's really small circular patches. As we get through here, we see it here. It's all over the place. And you can find, if we look at these little things, once again, we're going to see cobwebs on here. And same thing, sometimes you have to check multiple spots just to make sure there aren't more than one thing going on, but yeah, it's the same. So as I look across the lawn, definitely see these patches all over the place. Well, next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to consult with a customer, and I'm going to tell them what the diagnosis is and then what the best practices are to take care of these things. So we're going to take care of that stuff right now, and I'll tell you how we should take care of this. Alright, so the product I'm going to use to take care of this fungus here is called ZoxyPG, and it has 2 different fungicides in it. And the reason I'm going to use this is because it covers a pretty wide spectrum of different fungi that you can have in your lawn instead of just using a sole fungicide. And the ZoxyPG is a very small granular type chemical. You can find these same chemicals in liquid forms also. I'm using the granular for 2 reasons here. One, because the granular has a little bit longer lasting effect. Liquids take effect really quickly, but maybe don't last as long. Granular sort of lasts a little bit longer. Also, I'm using this most of the time. The fungicide will have to have some moisture or water to make it activated in the turf. This customer does have an irrigation system, so I'm not worried about that. So this is what I'm going to put down. Read your label, because there's different rates for different fungus that you're trying to attack. There's also different rates whether or not you're using it for a curative fungicide or whether or not you're just trying to use it for a sort of a preventative fungicide. Also, there's usually times that you'll have to do sort of repeat applications in, say, 14 days or maybe 28 days. It depends on each chemical that you're using. So read the label to make sure you know if it's going to require reapplication, and then follow those instructions.